Women are known to put men through their paces because Sigma males exude mystery and are frequently difficult to read, making it difficult for women to understand what they're thinking. Whether this is done to determine a man's worth, gauge his interest, or just to have some fun, women are always putting men through their paces. Women are drawn to Sigma's mysterious demeanor, but are unsure of how to capture their interest. As a result, they frequently test Sigma to see what he's made of, and to see if they can break through his guard. Because Sigma men are so private and self-reliant, they are frequently seen as distant and uninterested. This is completely untrue. In fact, they are the best partners there are. They are incredibly devoted and understanding of when to give space and when to be present. Here are 9 ways that women subtly test Sigma males. 1 is by challenging him. Some may do this overtly, but others will do it more subtly. Because Sigma males are known for their unwavering confidence, women frequently put this to the test by opposing their beliefs or viewpoints. They may also try to make him feel bad about himself by playing the devil's advocate. Although this may appear annoying, it's really a technique for them to learn more about each other. She is interested in seeing if he can remain composed, because they are logical thinkers and can see right through woman's tests under pressure. Sigma guys are always one step ahead of the game and know what to do next. Women are unaware that Sigmas frequently utilize these difficulties as a chance to learn more about their thoughts and how their minds function. Women are drawn to Sigma because of their brilliance and quick wit, which frequently disarms them and leaves them even more interested. It's like a mental chess battle for them, as they are constantly trying to remain one step ahead. A man's looks are one thing, but what makes them really attractive are their sharp intellect and fast wit. When they are cognitively engaged, they shine the brightest and are in their element. This is when their confidence truly shows. 2 women often use this tactic to test men. They will send mixed signals, such as being hot one minute and cold the next, or showing interest in him one day and being completely indifferent the next. This is all part of a woman's strategy to gauge a man's interest and see how far he's willing to go to win her over. Men, on the other hand, frequently become engrossed in the games and start to second-guess themselves, wondering if they are doing something wrong or if they are reading the signs correctly. This is where the Sigma men excel. They will let her know they won't put up with her nonsense, and she needs to either step up or step aside, which usually leads her to become more interested or back off. Entirely either way, it's a win-win situation for Sigmas, because they know how to screen women effectively and are not afraid to let them go if they are not a good fit. They will never waste their time chasing after someone who sends the mixed signals. They frequently see through these games and refuse to play along. They may concentrate their efforts on more productive endeavors, thanks to this enormous time saver. 3. She treats him like an object. This is when she acts as though he doesn't exist and completely ignores him. She may do this in response to something he said or did, or she may do it for no apparent reason at all. In any case, the purpose of this behavior is to test him and see how he will respond, and whether or not he will give in to her demands. The Sigma is not the kind of man who would put up with this kind of nonsense. He understands that the silent treatment is merely an immature means of gaining attention. Instead, he will frequently choose to ignore her until she becomes weary and leaves. In some situations, he might even return the favor. This usually works like a charm, and she will soon come crawling back to him, pleading for forgiveness. The silent treatment is just one of the many games that women play, and while it's frequently a very effective tool for controlling men, it's completely useless when it comes to Sigma males who love their alone time. In fact, some Sigmas may even find the silent treatment to be a blessing in disguise, giving them a much-needed break from the constant chatter of some women. At this point, ladies discover they are taking their own medication, and that the treatment they were receiving in silence is not as beneficial as they had previously believed. for she applies the theory of reverse psychology. This is another common strategy used by women to gauge men's interest. They will say one thing but mean quite another to see how he responds. For instance, she might pretend to be uninterested in pursuing a relationship, when in fact she is. Or she might act serious but isn't interested in finding out. Sigma. Men are usually one step ahead when it comes to reverse psychology. They are able to see above appearances and discern what a lady is truly trying to convey, which enables them to maintain composure. They see it as a challenge and frequently enjoy figuring out what a woman is really thinking. They often find it amusing when they can see through her tactics, and often find themselves smiling in the face of adversity. While some women may find this disarming, it only serves to further demonstrate how intelligent and perceptive they are. Although attempting reverse psychology on a Sigma guy is frequently ineffective, women are compelled to try. 5. She makes it a point to disagree with him on everything. This is a tricky one, because many women will try to test a man by disagreeing with him on everything. However, many men fail this test because they fall for the bait and argue with her. Sigma males frequently find themselves thinking that she's really doing it on purpose, or that this is her point of view, because they like independent women with their own opinions. This often puts them in a difficult situation. Testing a Sigma male in this way is often pointless, because these men are not the kind to become easily defensive or agitated. Instead, they know how to maintain composure and refuse to engage in small arguments. In addition, they are frequently very good at diffusing tense situations. It doesn't take long for Sigma to figure out if the woman is just trying to start an argument. In these cases, he will usually just agree for the sake of peace and then move on. If she hasn't figured out the Sigma character yet, she will shortly, since he is not easily tricked or misled. Instead, he is able to see through her deceit, and naturally is frequently in the better position in these circumstances. Sometimes a woman acts tough solely for the purpose of being difficult. In these situations, the Sigma simply leaves and directs her towards her own gadgets. It is useless to try to argue with someone who is obviously uninterested in having a reason. Conversation 6. She tests him to see how much attention he's really giving her. She may do this by changing the way she acts or looks, and seeing if he notices. She may also leave clues about things she needs or wants, and see if he follows through. If he doesn't, she usually gets upset and accuses him of not giving her enough attention. The Sigma guy is one who is always aware of everything, even the slightest details. This trait can have both positive and negative effects. It's good because he's constantly aware of what's going on and where he is. It's negative, since it might occasionally give the impression that he's suspicious or paranoid. Sigma men are very perceptive and frequently think more logically than other men. As a result, they are more likely to pick up on details or behavioral changes in others that others might miss. One of the things that makes them such exceptional leaders is their ability to perceive the broad picture and their constant awareness of their surroundings, because they are constantly alert and generally notice any changes. Sigma guys frequently pass this test without even realizing it. However, this may occasionally be problematic, because she could believe he is being overly watchful, and she wants to see if she can persuade him otherwise. 7. When she doesn't get her way and attempts to persuade him to see things her way, she typically becomes agitated and accuses him of being unyielding or inflexible. She may do this by using logic or reason, or by manipulating his emotions. The man known as the Sigma is one who is unwavering in his beliefs and difficult to persuade. He is receptive to hearing other people's perspectives and has an open mind, but ultimately, he will always make his own conclusions. There isn't much she can do to actually persuade him to change his mind. On rare occasions, she might be able to persuade him to see things her way, but for the most part he will stick to his guns. This is usually a test that she will only try once. He doesn't give in. She will then give up, because she knows it's not worth her time trying to change his mind. 8. When she's not sure if she wants to be in a relationship or not, she tests his emotional commitment by being vague. She may play games with him and keep him hanging, to see how devoted he is and how much he can handle. But he won't put any pressure on her, or attempt to persuade her to remain with him. The type of man known as Sigma knows that if something is meant to be, it will happen naturally and he doesn't need to push things along. That being said, if too much time goes by and she continues to use this immature test, he will move on right away. He won't stay around forever and he won't put up with her games. 9. She pushes his limits. The Sigma knows his own boundaries and won't tolerate anyone pushing him around. He is very firm with his boundaries and will clarify what is and is not acceptable. In some cases, depending on how far she pushes him, he might even need to put his foot down and leave the situation. Whitman frequently uses boundary testing. This is when she tries to push him to see how far he will let her go. If a man doesn't hold firm, this could quickly spiral out of control, who are too afraid to put their foot down. While some alpha males don't realize it's a test and may react aggressively, this is usually a power play and a way for her to assert her dominance over him. At first she uses it as a test, but it often quickly escalates into a game of control. Sigma is capable of handling these circumstances and will not allow her to use her advantages to manipulate him. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. I really do appreciate your support. This usually happens with beta males. Male Sigmas typically see straight through it